Tim was 8 years old, with bright blonde hair and a mind full of questions. One quiet evening, as twilight settled outside his window, a very special sound drifted from the radio. It was a trumpet, but it wasn't just any trumpet music. It felt happy and sad all at the same time, a swirl of emotions that made Tim's heart feel full. Zip. Tim's small silver drone hovered closer, its lights glowing softly in the dim room. That music, Zip buzzed, its voice, a gentle hum, belongs to Louis Armstrong. He was one of the greatest singers and trumpet players in all of history. Tim leaned forward, completely captivated. His eyes were wide with curiosity. Where did he come from, Zip? Tell me more. With a soft whir, Zip opened a glowing window of light right in the middle of the room. It shimmered and swirled, pulling them in. Suddenly, they weren't in Tim's room anymore. They were flying, soaring back through time. The world around them blurred into streaks of color and light until, just as quickly, it came into focus. They found themselves in a city buzzing with life. The air was warm and thick with the smell of spices and the sound of distant music. "We're in New Orleans, USA," Zip explained, in the early 1900s. Below them, they saw a young boy. He was born in 1901, Zip told Tim, and he grew up very, very poor. His neighborhood was loud and busy, a vibrant place filled with the sounds of horse-drawn carts, people talking, and music spilling out from every corner. It was a place full of rhythm. But life was hard. Food was often scarce, and children had to start working at a very young age to help their families. Tim watched the young boy, Louis, navigate his world. He noticed something that made him feel uneasy. "Zip, why do some people treat him differently?" he asked, his voice quiet. Zip hovered closer to Tim, its lights dimming slightly. "Because he is black, Tim," Zip answered gently. In those days, black people were treated unfairly. They were not given the same chances as white people, no matter how hard they worked or how talented they were. It was a very difficult and unjust time. Tim's heart ached for the young boy, but as they watched, they saw something incredible. Young Louis had a deep, unwavering love for music. It was his escape, his joy, his everything. Some people mocked him for his dreams. They told him he was wasting his time, that someone like him could never succeed. But Louis didn't listen to them. He found a trumpet, an old dented one, and he practiced every single day. He poured all his feelings, his struggles, his dreams into that instrument. And when he played, something magical happened. People would stop what they were doing. They'd turn their heads and listen. His music was so full of life and emotion that it made them smile. It made them forget their troubles for a little while. Tim and Zip watched as Louis grew older. They saw him leave New Orleans, carrying his trumpet and his incredible talent with him. He traveled the world, playing in small clubs and grand concert halls. He became famous, not just for his trumpet playing, but also for his unique, gravelly voice. He sang songs about blue skies and wonderful worlds, and when he sang, it was like a warm hug in the form of a melody. He played for kings and queens, for presidents, and for ordinary people in towns all across the globe. Everywhere he went, he shared joy. His smile was as famous as his music, a bright, wide grin that could light up any room. He faced prejudice and hardship his whole life, but he never let it dim his spirit. He turned sadness into happiness, Tim whispered, watching an image of Louis on a stage, sweat beading on his forehead as he blew a powerful, beautiful note from his trumpet. Yes, Zip replied, its voice filled with admiration. He showed the world that kindness and talent are much, much stronger than hate. He used his music to build bridges between people. The glowing window of light began to fade, and the sights and sounds of the past gently dissolved. Tim and Zip were back in the quiet of Tim's room. The trumpet music from the radio was still playing softly, a gentle echo of their journey. Tim looked at the radio, then at Zip. A small, determined smile formed on his face. "Zip," he said, his voice firm, "I want to be brave like him. I want to share happiness, too." Zip's lights blinked warmly. "You already are, Tim," it buzzed softly. "You already are," and in the gentle melody of Louis Armstrong's trumpet, Tim felt a new sense of purpose, a new understanding that the greatest music of all comes from a heart full of courage and love. Thanks for watching our story today. Remember, everyone has a unique song inside them. Don't be afraid to play it loud and proud. If you enjoyed our journey, please like, share, and subscribe for more adventures. See you next time.